The Brickhill 2020 Christmas present event was by far the best Christmas event Brickhill has had so far, introducing 7 new presents to be bought or obtained in very unique and clever ways. Today, I'll be reviewing and rating every single present off of looks, difficulty, and theme. My name is FSFK, and let's get started. The first present to come out was the homemade present of creative endeavors. It could have been purchased for 20,000 bucks or 200,000 bits. It was also placed on a timer of about 22 days. After the timer ran out, about 2 days later, the present went on sale for 10 bits and had a 1-day timer. People that originally bought it for 20,000 bucks or 200,000 bits will receive a custom item, and anyone else that bought it for 10 bits will receive a different item. This present looks very good, and plays on a joke of a low-quality looking present that you would assume to be priced cheap, but actually turns out to be very expensive. Of course, this did go on sale for 10 bits for other people to get, but that's besides the point. I'd give this present a 6 out of 10 in terms of looks. This present's difficulty is as easy as possible. All you have to do is buy it. But I would prefer that instead of buying it for cheap, you had to do some sort of task to obtain it, like the bursting present of 1 billion bits, which was priced at 100,000 bits. But for people that didn't want to purchase it at that price, you could do a very simple task to get it. Of course, you would not get a custom item if you did the task, only if you bought it for its asking price of 100,000 bits. This present gets a 1 out of 10 in terms of difficulty. The theme of this present is pretty clever. The joke of that it's a present that's worth 20,000 bucks but looks like it's worth 1 bit is pretty fine. Other than that, there's nothing else to the theme, seeing as all you have to do to obtain it is purchase it. This present gets a 4 out of 10 in terms of theme, making the present's total rating an 11 out of 30. The second present to come out was the woolly present of Happy Holidays. It was purchasable for 10 bits and had a timer of about 14 days. This present looks very good. I like the simplicity of the gift and the knitted type design of the present. I give this present a 7 out of 10 in terms of looks. With this present being another purchasable present, there isn't really much difficulty around it. You get 10 bits every day you log in, and new users get $1 and 10 bits when they create an account. This is pretty much free. I give this a 1 out of 10 in terms of difficulty. This present has a good theme, especially when I get onto the third present in the list. But in terms of the woolly present on its own, it only gets a 2 out of 10 in terms of theme, seeing as all it takes to obtain it is pretty much logging in and buying it, making the total rating 10 out of 30. The third present to come out was the woolly present's doppelganger. It's pretty much the same thing as the woolly present of Happy Holidays, but with a different price of 50 bits. This present looks better than the original woolly present. I prefer the blue and red over the red and green. I give this present an 8 out of 10 in terms of looks. The difficulty only gets a 1 out of 10 due to it being a purchasable present. This present's theme is very good. The fact that this is supposed to be a doppelganger to another present is very clever and gives us more items to collect in the long run. The theme only gets a 5 out of 10 due to it being a purchasable present, making the total rating 14 out of 30. The fourth present to come out was the classic present of Christmas is Gone. It was obtainable by going to the game page with an ID of 4. There was a common misconception that you had to comment present on the place, but this was not true. The item amassed 3,502 owners, making it the most common present that was obtainable and not bought. This present looks very good, and I like how it's a retexture of the oldest present on Brickhill, the present of gingerbread goodness, really solidifying the act that it's supposed to be a classic looking present. I give this present a 9 out of 10 in terms of looks. This present wasn't hard to obtain per se, but more just obscure and something you wouldn't really think of doing to obtain it. But at the same time, it makes sense that you do it. This present gets a 5 out of 10 in terms of difficulty. This present's theme is very clever. The fact that the place you had to go to was a classic place that was made for Christmas of 2017 was a super creative way to obtain the present, even if it was only going to a certain page. And the fact that it's a retexture of a classic present is also very creative and makes the present feel very, well, classic. This present gets an 8 out of 10 in terms of theme, making the total rating 22 out of 30. The fifth present to come out was the frosty present of Winter Cheer. It was obtainable by going to the blog post The Holidays Reach Brickhill by Maxed1 that came out on the 19th of December, 2 days after the present's original creation date. This present looks very, normal. There's nothing wrong with it, but nothing special about it either. I give this present a 5 out of 10 in terms of looks. This present wasn't hard to obtain by any means necessary. Max1 posted an announcement in the Brick Hill Discord about it, even hinting about something being in there. This present gets a 3 out of 10 in terms of difficulty. There's nothing much to this present's theme. Nothing really correlates other than the winter theme, but this is Christmas, so almost all of the other presents are winter themed. This present gets a 2 out of 10 in terms of theme, making the total rating 10 out of 30. Here it is, the big boy, the inconspicuous present of understanding. This year's Christmas ARG, and boy, this was a doozy. I sadly won't be going over how to obtain this present, or this would be outrageously long of a video, and I really don't think I'm going to put myself through editing that. But lucky for me, there is a video on how to obtain it already up on my friend Kong's channel. You should definitely check out that video and subscribe to him. He makes videos like mine, so I bet you'll like it. Anyways, on with the topics. This present looks amazing! Like, no joke, this present looks really good. The fact that the whole texture was made out of ASCII characters, with some exceptions, is very good looking. Even if it doesn't really represent something, this present still gets a 9 out of 10 in terms of looks. This present was by far the hardest ARG Brick Hill has had. There was 12 steps, and every step had so many red herrings scattered throughout it, and each step was fairly creative, with some being harder than others. This present gets an obvious 10 out of 10 in terms of difficulty. This isn't the first time a texture was the first step to an ARG on Brick Hill. The texture of the first ARG present, the linear present of puzzle solving, had a texture with a QR code on it. Now, that's way easier than determining 2 non-ASCII symbols out of a handful, but still paved the way for what the inconspicuous present of understanding would start off with. This present gets an 8 out of 10 in terms of difficulty, making the total rating of 27 out of 30. The last present to come out was the Mishka's Present of Slumber. It was obtainable by going to the item Mishka the Cat and spam-clicking the thumbnail. If you didn't know, Mishka is the owner, Space Builder's cat, in real life. He seems to be a pretty sleepy feller. Another fun fact before I move on, this was the 3rd item to revolve around Mishka the Cat, with the other 2 items being Mishka's fur top hat and Mishka the Cat, obviously. This present looks really good. I've always liked the items with the Mishka print on them, and when I saw it, I was super excited to see what would come out of it, because it would be another Mishka-themed item. This present gets an 8 out of 10 in terms of looks. This present was pretty difficult for me. It took me like 2 days to figure out how to get it, and then I hoarded it on all of my ults because I did that with every other present, but that's besides the point. This present was difficult, and that's that. This present gets a 7 out of 10 in terms of difficulty. This present was clever all around. The description is a red herring and threw everyone off, and the fact that you had to pet Mishka was a really cool way of obtaining it. This present couldn't get better if it tried to. This present gets a 9 out of 10 in terms of theme, making the total rating a 24 out of 30. I finished the video. If you're reading this, I finished the video. Why are you reading this? I don't know. Anyways, thank you for watching this. I haven't posted in a while, and this is probably why. Procrastination. Anyways, thank you for watching. The whole leaderboard of all of these gifts will be in the description, as well as Kong's video on the ARG. Thank you for watching. If you like the video, you can like it. If you dislike the video and hate my opinions, you can leave a dislike. I don't care. If you adore me as a person, subscribe. If you don't adore me as a person, ignore this video. Go back to doing your normal thing, and I will see you soon or something. I don't know. I need to post this, so I'm gonna do that. Goodbye.